what's life about?
Oh, what is life about? The best way I can describe it is something that I read recently, and it said that the ancient Egyptians believed that there was 2 questions they are asked before they enter the afterlife. Did you find joy in your life, and did you bring joy to others? And for me, that's what life's about. And that's kind of, when I heard that, I was like, that's kind of the 2 questions that encapsulates everything I'm trying to do. And the way that I do that is just, I try and ask myself those 2 questions every day. Did I find joy today? And if I didn't, how do I make more joy in that day? And did I bring joy to others? Which for me is really about, how do I be kind to others or give to others? I think sometimes just stripping it right back to the simple things. You know, the simple things in life, like I say, joy. Where do you find joy? And how can you just bring more of it into every day? I think that might be what life's about.
Can you think of a time, or have you experienced times when maybe you didn't have that joy that now you kind of radiate?
Oh, I've had multiple moments where I felt extreme sadness. I had an uncle, so everyone's got a role model in their life as they're growing up, and I had this amazing uncle that never had children, and he was kind of the success story of the family. He was a doctor who became an entrepreneur back when, you know, it wasn't kind of the cool thing.
Yeah.
He took a real interest in me and my potential, and you know, he bought me, my mum was a single mum, he paid for me to go to a private girls' school for VCE. He was just always so giving to me, and I always looked at him in awe, and it's like, I want to, you know, he's my definition of success, that's what I aspire to. And then 8 years ago, and I'll never forget, it was 7 o'clock on a Thursday night, and my brother rang me, and they found my uncle dead off the edge of the Frankston Pier, and he'd weighted himself down with dumbbells and suicided. It was like everything that I ever believed about life was gone. And it was just such a shock. That moment made me question the whole definition of success. And that's why I say it was the start of the journey. So I started to notice things that I'd probably previously ignored, that were perhaps not a fit with my values, and I'd started to really ask myself this question, well, I'm pushing 40, and I've never, like, if that's not success, because clearly that didn't work, I ticked every box. I had everything I could ever want, and I was sitting there going, I'm not fulfilled. There's got to be more than this. And the other thing I realised in asking myself that question, I realised that success and happiness are intertwined. I don't believe you can be successful if you are not happy. And what I'd created in terms of my success in my corporate career and everything that had gone on there, and that had been off the back of what I'd admired in my uncle and been led to believe was the right thing, I realised that none of that was the stuff that lit me up.
Yep.
And so, as I say, I shifted myself. So within the 7-month period, so I left the executive role in a global giant over in Perth. I relocated my family from Perth back to Melbourne. I left an 18-year relationship, and I started my own purpose-driven company with the sole intent of positively impacting the lives of others with no idea what I was doing. But I knew I had to be courageous, and I knew that if I did it all at once, there was no going back.
What was the outcome of that? Where did that land you?
Every action that I've taken that's now led me to this amazing life that I've created is because of this small human that I made, because I want to create a world where he and his mates can thrive. And equally, it's led me now to this point where I have a career as a happiness hacker. I claim to be the world's first. And the reason for that is because I made it up. So that's kind of the title I have. I have what I term an education company that teaches people the human skills to thrive in a world of exponential technology, because that's what we find ourselves in. And I get to travel the world and speak about a model that I've created to help people learn those skills called intentional adaptability. I get to meet amazing people all around the world that care about being more human. I get to sit in classrooms with young people, corporate people, school principals next week in New Zealand. Basically creating the space for people to talk about how they're feeling in the current environment and how to learn these skills through experiential learning, not me telling them what to do, but helping them explore what might be right for them to do.
Yeah.
God, what's so fascinating about, I never thought I never could have expected to be where I am in terms of the opportunities that I have. And I'm extremely grateful for that, but it's been a lot of hard work. But I said to my mum not so long ago, we sat at my kitchen bench and I was having a glass of wine, and I said to her, know that if I die tomorrow, I die completely and utterly happy. Whilst I could have done more, I'm living exactly the life I want. And I just think more people need to be able to say that.
It's pretty rare.
Yeah, it's my best life. And if I get another chance, like I don't believe in reincarnation, but I always say to myself, if I get another chance, bonus. You know, like, but I'm not going to miss this opportunity.
If your son was here being interviewed, what would be a question that you would want to ask him?
In 20 years' time or 10 years' time, you know, what would you say about me? And he said, I'd want you to be exactly as you are now. And I was like, I'm doing something right. If he likes who I am now, he said, I wouldn't want you to change anything, I want you exactly as you are now.
Back to that first question, what's life about?
I think life is about being kind, and I almost think it sounds a bit cliche, but being in service of others, because I find the more I give of myself in the service of other people, the happier I become. And it took me a long time to realise that. So maybe what this is all about is just being kind to one another. And hopefully in doing that, we will leave the world a little bit better than what it was when each of us arrived.